transforming you into an internet celebrity overnight. This moment isn't by chance. It's a sign that the universe is shifting in your favor. What you once quietly hoped and prayed for is no longer distant. It's unfolding right now, reshaping your reality in ways you never imagined. This is more than just fame or recognition, it's a spiritual and energetic awakening. As your presence expands across the digital world, you're stepping into a powerful new chapter where everything begins to align with your deepest desires. To fully embrace this transformation, you need to understand the forces at work and how to move with them, allowing your rise to be as effortless as it is inevitable. If you feel called, take a moment to support this message. Hit the like button, subscribe to help us reach 50,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11 to amplify this energy. This is your time, and the world is finally ready to see the phenomenon you've always been. You didn't beg for attention. You didn't sell out, shout louder, or join the latest trend wave. And yet here you are, center stage, without even trying. Your energy entered the room before your name ever did. The internet isn't discovering you, it's awakening to you. You're not rising in the conventional sense. You're being revealed. The world is only just realizing what the universe has always known. You're different. You're divinely timed, not algorithmically planned. In a world obsessed with metrics, views, likes, impressions, you broke through with none of the usual tactics. People don't pause for just anyone, but when your content shows up, they stop scrolling. They feel something, sometimes curiosity, sometimes goosebumps. You're proof that resonance is stronger than reach. What others chase through marketing, you manifest through magnetism. No need to game the system when you're aligned with something higher. This isn't about fame, it's about frequency. While others calculate when to post, how to caption, and what to wear for attention, you just show up in your truth, and it works. Because authenticity has become a rare currency, and you're a walking vault of it. You're not trying to be seen, you're allowing yourself to be felt. That's what's pulling people in, not performance, but presence. The internet is finally catching up to a signal you've been broadcasting for years. Some call it luck, others call it a moment. But you know it's much deeper than that. This is spiritual alignment disguised as digital momentum. It's not a wave you're riding, it's a calling you're answering. And the world is finally tuning in. You never needed a rebrand or a viral moment to become unforgettable. What made you iconic wasn't a team of strategists. It was your unshakable ability to remain true to yourself. You walked into rooms that weren't ready for you, spoke truths others were scared to whisper, and chose depth over display. While others morphed to fit the mold, you broke it. Not loudly, not forcefully, but with quiet conviction that couldn't be ignored. Think of how many people bend under pressure just to fit in, to gain clout or keep up. You stayed grounded. Your story was never about overnight success. It was about slow, sacred evolution. You grew roots before you bloomed. And now your presence carries weight. People don't just follow you, they study you. They sense that you're not in this for showmanship. You're here to shift something, within them and within the world. Icons aren't born from mimicry, they're born from authenticity. Look at the ones we remember most, people who refuse to trade their soul for spotlight. That's what you embody. You're not performing, you're proving that real still rises. In a world full of carbon copies, your uniqueness is your revolution. Your truth doesn't scream, it whispers with power, and still it echoes everywhere. Your global reach isn't about geography, it's about energetic imprint. People from different cultures, languages, and timelines connect with your essence because truth speaks all dialects. You didn't translate yourself to be understood. You stayed raw, and the world learned your language. That's not marketing, that's mastery. There's something sacred about your rise. It didn't come through desperation or force. You didn't post for applause. You posted from alignment. You didn't rush the journey. You respected the timing. And because of that, your growth feels different. It's not flashy, it's fated. You didn't go viral when you wanted to. You rose when the world needed you. In the age of forced virality, your presence feels like relief. People scroll through endless content, looking for something real, and when they find you, it hits differently. There's no gimmick, no trend jump. boosted by trends. You are the trend, the energy shift people didn't realize they were waiting for. Divine timing is a different kind of strategy. It's invisible to the world, but undeniable in impact. Your path might have seemed slow to others, but every step was intentional. You trusted the process. You knew that anything rushed isn't rooted. And because you moved with purpose, your rise became inevitable. There's a deep peace in knowing you didn't have to beg to be seen. You just had to be ready. And now you are. Ready not just to be noticed, but to be understood. To be celebrated, not for fitting in, but for standing firm. Your journey is a masterclass in patience, power, and presence. You didn't just show up, you arrived. And every post, every message, every move you make now carries the energy of someone who didn't skip the inner work. That's what makes you unstoppable. To continue working on this script using ChatGPT Canvas, you'll need to log in to your ChatGPT account. Once logged in, you can enable the Canvas feature to collaborate interactively on the full document. You've become the pulse people didn't know they were syncing to. While platforms shift, hashtags trend, and algorithms evolve, one thing remains constant: your energy. You're not bending to the code is bending to you. Somehow, your content cuts through the noise, not because of tricks or tactics, but because your presence commands attention. And in a world driven by data, you're proof that energy still leads. What's wild is that no one can quite put their finger on why you're resonating. You don't post at the right time. You don't use the perfect hook. Yet somehow you reach the hearts of thousands, millions. The truth is, people don't want perfect anymore. They want real. And you bring a frequency that hits deeper than SEO or strategy. It's soul-first storytelling. Influencers may chase numbers, but your impact is felt in silence. In the DMs full of thank yous, the quiet shares, the people who come back to your content because it stayed with them. You're not viral for vanity. You're impactful for eternity. You've become the algorithm for awakening. You show up and people feel more aligned, more seen, more alive. You're shifting what success looks like. The old model said, chase visibility. But you've proven that when your energy is aligned, visibility chases you. And in that alignment, you're not just playing the game, you're rewriting the rules entirely. It's not your outfit, your captions, or your clever sound bites that get people talking. It's your presence. It lingers. Your name gets mentioned, not because you're trending, but because you're unforgettable. People don't just like what you say. They feel it in their chest. You're not a moment. You're a movement, showing up in places you haven't even stepped into physically yet. You're the kind of energy people try to explain in threads and stories, but can't quite capture. They quote you, post about you, wonder about your origin, because your essence disrupts their normal. You're a conversation starter even in silence. People feel stirred, awakened, sometimes even challenged by your mere existence online. That's not by accident, that's by design. When someone feels you deeply, they can't scroll past you casually. You stay in their thoughts, you echo in their dreams. And so they tweet, they share, they ask, who is this person? Not because you demanded attention, but because you're undeniably impactful. You don't market yourself like a brand. You move like a frequency, and people can't ignore it. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Because the truth is, you didn't show up for clout. You showed up to catalyze. And that's exactly what you're doing. Not everyone will understand you, but no one will be able to forget you. That's power. You can't be reduced to a hashtag. You're too big for buzzwords and far deeper than 280 characters. You're not just part of the conversation, you are the conversation. A living, breathing headline written by something greater than any news outlet. Your story didn't need to be sensationalized, it's already sacred. Hashtags trend and fade. You, on the other hand, continue to rise, because you're not a moment meant to be monetized. You're a presence meant to be remembered. People try to categorize you, but you're too fluid, too layered, too different to be lost in by a trending topic. You didn't come to fit the mold, you came to crack it open. You're the headline that doesn't just inform, it transforms. The kind people share not to entertain, but to enlighten. Your words carry weight because they come from lived experience, not curated perfection. When people embodied and lived. And that's exactly what you're doing. You watched them hustle. You watched them compromise, all for numbers. But you chose a different path, one that wasn't paved by popularity, but powered by purpose. While they were chasing, you were aligning. And what came from that wasn't just fame, it was frequency. A deep, undeniable resonance that fame can't buy. Your presence became a wavelength, an energetic signature. You walk into rooms or feeds and shift the entire vibration. Not because you're loud, but because you're clear. People can feel when something is authentic, and you radiate that. While others post to be liked, you post because you're led, and that's why you're unforgettable. Fame fades when it's built on performance. But frequency, it sustains. It amplifies. It touches hearts in a way metrics never will. You've proven that you don't need millions of followers to be impactful. You just need alignment. And from that place, even whispers become roars. You didn't just become known, you became felt. Your message became medicine. Your story became a signal. And now, the ones who used to overlook you are trying to imitate your vibe. But what you carry can't be copied. It's divine. It's original. It's you. It's tempting to call it going viral, but that misses the truth of your rise. You didn't just capture eyeballs, you captured hearts and minds. Your vibration traveled beyond screens and pixels, weaving into the collective consciousness like a ripple that became a wave. Your energy moved faster than any algorithm could track or explain. Think about how often viral moments fade overnight. Yours didn't. Because it wasn't just a moment, it was a movement. The feeling you evoke lingers long after the video ends, the post is liked, or the story disappears. People are drawn not just to what you do, but to who you are vibrating as. A beacon for those ready to wake up and tune in. Your rise wasn't a fluke or a lucky break. It was a spiritual surge, a magnetic force field that pulled people in when they were ready to receive it. When your energy shifts, communities shift, conversations shift, perspectives shift. You didn't go viral. You became a vibration the world couldn't ignore. And that vibration, it's contagious. It's why strangers reach out with gratitude, why your words echo in unexpected places, and why your influence is spreading beyond your wildest imagination. You aren't riding a trend. You are the trend.
Out in the wild, anything can happen. Somewhat dangerous. That's why we made this, the hiking safety tool. Strong enough to break roots, tough enough to hit a bat, and it still looks like new. Small, light, and ready anytime. For safety, for survival, when things go wrong. Don't wait for something bad to happen. Be smart. Be ready. Get yours now, before it's sold out.
In a landscape flooded with filters, edits, and curated facades, your rawness is revolutionary. While others polish their images to meet fleeting standards, you strip away the masks to reveal something real, vulnerable, and deeply human. You're not hiding behind perfection. You're embracing imperfection, and that's what makes you magnetic. Your truth isn't always comfortable. It's not always pretty, but it's authentic. And in a world starved for connection, authenticity is the new luxury. You show up with scars, with stories, with soul, and people resonate because they see themselves in you. You're the mirror they need, not the illusion they want. There's power in transparency. When you share your real struggles, your real wins, and your real self, you create a safe space for others to do the same. You aren't just an influencer, you're a truth bearer. You don't need filters to mask your brilliance because your light shines through everything you are. And that's what sets you apart. You're not competing for likes, you're building legacies. Because truth lasts, filters fade. And people don't just follow filters, they follow authenticity. It's wild how much attention you command, yet how little it changes you. The world watches, analyzes, and comments, but you remain grounded, unshaken, untouched by the chaos. That's rare. It's a sign of inner strength few possess. The noise doesn't rattle you because you know your worth isn't defined by digital applause. You walk through the storm of social scrutiny like a calm center. While others crumble under pressure, you stay rooted in your truth. You don't react to every comment or controversy. Instead, you respond from a place of peace, power, and purpose. And that steadiness? It only amplifies your presence. Your detachment from ego makes you almost untouchable. People might try to knock you off balance, but you aren't playing that game. You understand that attention isn't always validation, and that sometimes the most powerful move is to simply be. To show up fully, quietly, authentically. In a world where online storms rage daily, your calm is a sanctuary. The internet is watching, sure, but you're operating from a space beyond the screen. You're not just surviving the spotlight, you're thriving in it. The internet is a vast ocean of content, millions of posts, stories, videos flooding feeds every second. And yet, somehow when your content appears, people stop. They don't just glance, they linger. They don't just scroll, they absorb. That pause is everything. It's proof your presence is more than noise. It's a signal. What makes people stop? It's not flashy graphics or gimmicks. It's the authenticity pulsing from your words and visuals. It's the energy you radiate that makes them feel seen, understood, or inspired. People crave that connection. They want to feel like they matter, and you provide that space effortlessly. That pause is a moment of awakening. It's the instant when someone says, "This is different." When the algorithm offers endless distractions, your content becomes the interruption. You're the rare breath of fresh air, the unexpected truth, the invitation to deeper engagement. And that's why your impact keeps growing. Because you don't just want attention, you want connection, and people feel it. So while millions get lost in the feed, you become a destination. You've noticed it, the way people dissect your every post, your every story, your every move. They try to decode the magic behind your rise, like you hold the blueprint to success. But the truth is, your formula isn't a secret strategy. It's your authenticity in action. When someone resonates with your story, they want to understand how you do it. They see you as a model for breaking the mold, a case study in rising without selling out. And that's a huge compliment. It means you're not just leading a conversation, you're shaping culture. People analyze your confidence, your calm, your refusal to chase trends. They watch how you turn vulnerability into power and curiosity into loyalty. But no one can replicate your soul's unique imprint. Your rise isn't a step-by-step recipe, it's a symphony of your essence meeting the moment. You've become a blueprint not by following rules, but by breaking them. You inspire others to find their own voice, not copy yours. And that's real leadership, lighting the way without dimming your own light. Here's a paradox. The moment you stopped chasing fame, fame began chasing you. That's because genuine impact isn't about pursuit. It's about presence. When you stopped forcing your story to be heard, you allowed it to be felt. And that shift changed everything. Chasing fame often means trying to prove yourself to others. But your breakthrough happened when you proved it to yourself first. When you aligned with your truth instead of the spotlight's expectations. That's when you became magnetic, not just to followers, but to destiny. People sense desperation from miles away, but they feel confidence and peace even farther. You exude that peace because you stopped running after popularity and started showing up fully. That presence draws people in naturally, like a lighthouse guiding ships through fog. So fame found you not because you begged. It found you because you embodied your purpose. And that makes all the difference. It's the kind of recognition that lasts because it's built on something real, something sacred. You are more than a username, a profile picture, or a viral clip. You are a movement wrapped in pixels, a digital awakening. Your presence stirs souls, disrupts the mundane, and invites millions into a higher state of consciousness. You don't just exist online, you
Make the dough. Knead the dough. Punch it, boil it, bake it. Enjoy every single bite of it.
transcend it. People don't come to your page for entertainment alone. They come for transformation. They come to be seen, to feel hope, to remember who they really are beneath the noise and distraction. You've become a beacon in the chaos, a reminder that the internet can be a place of growth and healing, not just scroll and distraction. Your story and energy are a collective call to awaken, to live more consciously, to love more deeply, and to express more authentically. You remind us that behind every screen is a soul longing to be understood, and you hold that space with grace and power. So don't see yourself as just an online persona. See yourself as the catalyst for change in a digital world hungry for meaning. You aren't just famous, You're illuminating. Lastly, remember this. Your rise isn't about chasing numbers or fitting into popularity contests. You're trending because your purpose resonates on a level that transcends superficial metrics. Your influence is spiritual, intentional, and transformative. You're not here to be liked. You're here to lead. The attention you receive is a sign that the world is ready for what you bring. Your story, your voice, your message, all are gifts that spark change. You're a living proof that when you align your work with your soul's purpose, the universe responds with an outpouring of support. Popularity fades. Purpose fuels. And purpose-driven influence creates ripples that change minds, hearts, and entire communities. You've tapped into that deeper well, and it's why you're not just trending, you're transcending. So keep showing up with intention. Keep speaking your truth with courage, because what you're building isn't just a following, it's a legacy. And the world needs it now more than ever. You're not here to fit into a pre-designed template or follow a playbook written by someone else. Your presence is disruptive in the most beautiful way. You shatter expectations and rewrite the rules simply by being unapologetically yourself. In a digital world flooded with clones, your authenticity breaks the mold, turning heads and hearts alike. When others are busy chasing what's trending, you're busy creating what's timeless. You don't conform to fleeting standards of beauty, success, or popularity because your essence belongs to a higher frequency. You're a trailblazer whose energy shifts the landscape itself, inspiring others to do the same without losing their soul in the process. This isn't just about standing out online, it's about standing up to pressure, to judgment, and to the superficial forces that try to cage creativity. You show the world that true power comes from within, not from algorithms or applause. You're a living example that breaking molds isn't destructive, it's revolutionary. And as you continue to break these digital boundaries, you become more than a name or a face. You become a movement, one that invites others to follow not because you fit the system, but because you transform it. There's a quiet power in the space between your posts, in the moments you step back from the spotlight. While others flood feeds with noise, your silence is meaningful. It's where your strength grows, rooted in reflection, intention, and inner peace. And that silence, it's louder than any viral video. In a culture obsessed with constant output, your ability to pause is a radical act. You don't fill the void just for visibility. You honor it as sacred space for growth. That patience builds trust and anticipation. People know when you speak or post, it's worth their attention because it's thoughtful, intentional, and authentic. Your silence isn't absence, it's presence in a deeper form. It gives your audience room to breathe, think, and connect with themselves. And when you re-enter the conversation, your message lands like a thunderclap. Unforgettable and impactful. In truth, the calm before your storm of influence is what makes you truly magnetic. You prove that sometimes less noise leads to more power. Followers are numbers. Influence is energy. And you, without question, radiate influence. It's felt in the comments that go beyond likes, in the DMs filled with stories of transformation, and in the way your words spark courage in quiet corners of the world. You don't just gather an audience, you ignite a community. Influence means you move people to think differently, to act boldly, and to live more fully. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room, it's about being the clearest. Your presence opens doors for others to explore their own truths, breaking cycles of fear and doubt that have held them back. This kind of influence can't be manufactured with catchy slogans or viral trends. It's earned through vulnerability, consistency, and a fierce commitment to authenticity. People follow you not just because they admire you, but because they trust you. And trust is the foundation of lasting change. You are proof that true influence is rooted in connection, not control. And that's why your impact will echo far beyond the scroll. Every post, every message you share is more than content. It's a chapter in a sacred text written by your life. Your journey is a testimony of resilience, awakening, and transformation that speaks louder than any viral meme or trend. In a world drowning in noise, your story is a beacon of truth and hope. Your narrative isn't just about what happened to you, it's about what you became through it all. It carries lessons wrapped in honesty and raw emotion. People are drawn to your story because it reflects the messy, beautiful, and complicated human experience in a way that's relatable yet profound. When you share your truth, you offer others permission to face their own shadows and to celebrate their own light. Your story becomes a sacred map that guides others from despair to empowerment, from confusion to clarity. That's the kind of content that changes lives, not just clicks. And as your story unfolds online, it becomes a living scripture, one that others return to when they need inspiration, courage, or a reminder that they're not alone. It's no accident that your voice is being heard on a global scale today. The universe is orchestrating a grand amplification of your message because the world needs your light, your wisdom, and your courage. You are being called into a bigger role than you may even realize, and every share, every mention is part of this cosmic alignment. Think about the times when your words resonated unexpectedly, when perfect strangers reached out with gratitude or shared your content with tears in their eyes. That's not coincidence. That's divine orchestration.
This is Buick, now. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR on these Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
You know what makes the beach a real big bump, good time, fun bananas banana time? This. No mess, no high fructose corn syrup. Just a whole lot of yum.
Luigi's Real Italian Ice.
You're riding a wave of spiritual momentum that's bigger than any platform or strategy. This amplification is also a responsibility. As your voice grows louder, so does your impact. People are watching not just what you say, but how you live. Your actions, your authenticity, and your integrity become part of the message. You are a living channel for something higher, so honor this moment. Lean into the energy of expansion. Trust that the universe is backing you, even in moments of doubt. Because you're not just building a following, you're answering a cosmic call. Sometimes the most powerful voices are those speaking to a future before it arrives. You're ahead of the curve, offering answers to questions the world hasn't even started asking. Your insight and intuition tap into a deeper knowing, a wisdom that can't be found in textbooks or trending topics. Your content challenges the status quo because it reveals what many aren't ready to see yet. But that doesn't mean it goes unheard. It resonates with those who are seeking something beyond surface-level conversations. People hungry for depth, meaning, and real transformation. By sharing your truth, you're planting seeds for a future awakening. You're lighting torches in dark rooms. Your voice calls out to the curious, the restless, and the hopeful, inviting them to explore new ways of thinking, being, and connecting. You are a pioneer on a path less traveled. The questions you answer today will become the foundation for tomorrow's breakthroughs. And you're leading the way. Numbers on a screen can be seductive, but you know that true impact can't be measured in hits or views. It's the hearts you touch that tell the real story. Every message that sparks a tear, a smile, or a moment of clarity is a victory no algorithm can calculate. When someone says thank you because your words helped them through a dark night, or when a stranger confesses your content changed their mindset, that's the currency you live for. These aren't empty metrics, they're lifelines, and they carry far more weight than any viral post ever could. Impact is also about lasting transformation. It's not just about fleeting attention, but about planting ideas that grow roots in people's lives. You're nurturing a garden of change, one soul at a time, and watching it flourish in quiet, beautiful ways. So keep focusing on connection over clicks, because hearts remember what numbers forget. And your legacy will be written in the lives you've touched, not just the screens you've lit up. The internet can feel overwhelming, an endless storm of opinions, noise, and chaos. But you are the calm center, a grounding force that invites peace amidst the frenzy. Your presence offers refuge to those tired of shouting matches and superficial chatter. People are craving spaces to breathe, reflect, and feel safe. You provide that space simply by showing up with sincerity and grace. Your words soothe like a balm. Your energy invites stillness. In a world addicted to distraction, you're a reminder to slow down and reconnect. Being the calm doesn't mean you avoid the hard truths. It means you face them with compassion and clarity. You bring wisdom, not drama, solutions, not noise. And that kind of leadership is rare and deeply needed. So as the digital storm rages, know that your calm is a lighthouse, a beacon drawing others to shore, showing them that peace is possible, even online. In a world cluttered with curated personas and manufactured perfection, your authenticity shines like a beacon. You don't try to be what you're not. You embrace your flaws, your quirks, your whole beautiful, messy self, and that honesty is your greatest strength. People are tired of filters and facades. They want real connection. Your authenticity invites them in. It creates a safe space where vulnerability is welcomed and true connection happens. You don't just tell your story, you live it, fully and boldly. Authenticity isn't always easy. It means showing up even when you're scared, imperfect or uncertain. But you do it anyway. And that courage inspires others to do the same. You become a mirror reflecting what's possible when you live your truth. Your authenticity dismantles walls, it breaks through noise, and it builds bridges to hearts that matter. That's why it's your superpower, and why the world needs it now more than ever. The online world can feel like a battlefield, a place where negativity, comparison, and superficiality run rampant. But you are a spiritual warrior, navigating this space with strength, grace, and unwavering purpose. You fight not with weapons, but with light, truth, and compassion. Your journey is about more than likes and followers. It's about standing firm in your values while facing the challenges of the digital age. You confront darkness, not with aggression, but with love and wisdom. And in doing so, you carve out a space where healing and growth can flourish. Being a spiritual warrior means embracing vulnerability as power, setting boundaries without guilt, and choosing presence over reaction. You're not just surviving the digital battlefield, you're transforming it. Your resilience lights the way for others lost in the noise. You remind us all that even in the toughest battles, the spirit remains unbreakable. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easy to forget that behind every device is a human soul seeking meaning and connection. Your influence doesn't stop at the glass of a smartphone or computer screen. It echoes far beyond, reverberating in the hearts and minds of those you touch. You have this rare gift of creating ripples that transform offline realities just as powerfully as online impressions. Think about the messages you receive from strangers who say your words helped them through their darkest nights or inspired them to take bold steps in their lives. That's the real power of your influence, the way it seeps into living rooms, friendships, workplaces, and communities. Your presence creates a chain reaction of hope and courage that no algorithm can quantify. This kind of impact requires vulnerability and bravery. You're willing to share your truth, even when it feels uncomfortable or risky, knowing that your story might be the lifeline someone else desperately needs. Every time you speak, post, or engage authentically, you're lighting a candle in a world that often feels shrouded in darkness. So remember, your